I told you to make sure that at last night. See what I mean? Well, the question. I mean you. Another question.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, it's up.
Oh shit, Boone, he's gonna drop a Boone put it up.
Shit, Mike.
Yeah, hey, fuck, you put it up. Take that shit. See how Boone is?
Hey, man.
Fuck, I'm telling you that, you gotta put it up.
Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Man, good luck to you too, man. Let me turn this shit off.
Turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. Breaking in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in.
a world where you and me, we show our hearts yet entirely. Deliver me from reality and take me to my fantasy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. This is a team that comes into the game wishing there was more on the line, but the reality is they're just playing out the string at this point. Still, despite their disappointing season, you can be sure they'll be giving it their all here. It's the Lions going up against the Oilers. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Houston Oilers. And now here's a carry heading left. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. On play action, they'll throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Needed 13, they got 14 on 3rd down. So they get the completion, that's good, but Charles, probably not good to get hit on the first play of the game.
No coaching staff ever wants their quarterback hit on any passing play, especially to start the game. What you're hoping is you have one of those tough guys back there. And sometimes when they get hit early, gets the juices flowing, and they get right into the game.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Caught by Nelson left side. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And the quarterback is actually split out wide there in the Wildcat. And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence that allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. Stays on his feet. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage,
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Let's go. Check. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Get on your feet. No. Off. Check safety.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Watch 7. Let's go. Let's go.
Looking to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Blue 58. Let's go. Blue 58. 3-2. Go. Staying open. Tight dog. He's coming. Double up.
They'll set up to throw. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Deon Buchanan was drafted as a safety, but makes many of his plays as a linebacker in their scheme.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Houston. Their big-bodied receiver with touchdown number 12 on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post-grab?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. He's going to look deep down the field. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Houston first.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our drive continues here to start quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They'll come out in the pistol. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, not a lot of flash and dash on that play. 2nd and 2, and they hand it to the big man, and he ends up picking up a first down. A little bit of gray area there, though, but I think what they thought, hey, we hand it to him here. If we come back and don't get it, we still got another down to try and pick it up.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Let's go. Hey, Mike, 20.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2nd down following the run.
Let's go. Move. Ohio.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
On play action, they'll throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now out comes Houston. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Rolling to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Trey Boston. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They're going to look to throw. Dancing to his left. Room here to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. They'll get 19 yards there, and it's good enough for a Detroit first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And again here, we'll see the Wildcat.
Here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Being chased out left. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal. He'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Second and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity if it breaks down.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Only a 3-yard loss there on the sack, but more importantly, it leads to a 4th and goal.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And now out comes Houston. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Shift together here from the D-line.
Let's go. Check 9, check 9. Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. And the QB steps over the line of scrimmage. That's an illegal forward pass.
And that is so rare because at the different positions, you have to know different things. Wide receivers have to know where the first down line is. Quarterbacks almost always know where the line of scrimmage is.
Let's go. Blue, 58. Blue. Half. Shift. Let's go.
And the back goes into motion.
Blue, 58.
He'll drop to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Slam. Let's go. D2. D2. Watch out.
And the wideout in motion. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now out comes Houston. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Here we go. What?
And he is going to lose yardage here. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Everyone's got 4. Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Let's go. 3-2. 3-2.
So the D-line's going to spread out. They come out here in the I. Going to give this time to the tailback. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Again, we'll see the pistol here. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A gain of 39 that time.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Let's go! Let's go! Blue 58! Blue 58! Let's go!
They come up in an offset eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Let's go! Blue
to throw here. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Third down now following the run.
Here we go. Flex round.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Flex round. Here we go.
They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. And now out comes Houston. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Second down following the incompletion.
Let's go. 3-2. Come on, let's go. 3-2. Mike 51. Let's go. Blue 58. Blue 58.
The tight end in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Let's go. 3-2.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. This will be caught at the 2. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got time in the pocket, eluding the pressure right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll look to throw. And Nelson's got it here right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Houston. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football? Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Defense showing blitz. They're going to look to throw. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And this is incomplete. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On play action, they'll throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They'll look to throw now on first down. His throw incomplete. Ten yards still left on second down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now a handoff as they run left side. And able to work his way down to the 16. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Looking to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Their big-bodied receiver with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And this offense continues to pour it on. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead will grow by 1 more. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
Yet again, here's a Wildcat look. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of...
Now a stoppage here. We'll get another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game. But here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
4 down. Let's go.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Hey, watch the right. Watch the right. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Let's go.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory.